Hey guys, so I'm back once again with season 3 of Flash, episode 2, Paradox. So in the beginning of this episode, we see Barry talking to Felicity, and he tells her about what happened and why he went back, and he created a whole new timeline, and he had to go ahead and just everything that has happened to him in season 2, and he wanted to fix all that. So he tells her that, and it starts out with him, in the beginning. It's saying, he goes ahead and stops the villain, and stops a crook that was robbing jewelry. Sorry, and he goes ahead and he stops him, and then he goes back to Star Labs, and he wanted to see on what Cisco would go ahead and see if he would name this new villain, and he called him the Thief. And then he wanted to find out why Joe and Iris aren't getting back. Why are they not, why is she and him being complicated and all. So then we find out that there's then we go back to Edward Claris, who is alive in this timeline, and we get to finally see on we finally get to see on who this alchemy character is. We start off, he's the character who is behind the mask, but we don't, it's a non-speedster this time, which is a good change of pace for them. But he tells Alchemy tells Claris that he can get his powers back because he was losing what he had lost in that previous timeline, and why he was remembering all this time, the previous timeline, that was the Paradox timeline, and stuff like that. So he gave him his powers back, and so now we see that we see that there are that he has also changed a little bit more. He changes a lot of differences that affect Arrow and Legends. But I'm pretty sure that Legends will fix its own self. But mostly it'll have an effect on Arrow. So he actually goes ahead and he asks Felicity if he could use their computer to see on what other things that has changed in the timeline, in this new timeline. And what happens is he actually he changes one thing that had I would guess a major effect on Arrow, which is, or subsequently a small little detail, which is Diggle. He had a daughter named Sarah, but then with this new timeline, they gender swapped to be a son, and they named him John Diggle again, John Diggle Jr., I believe now. And so, and then what made me think about that was in season 1 of Legends was when they saw when they in an episode they went to Star City 2046, I believe, and they saw John Diggle Jr., and that just made me thought of that. So what had made me thought of it was that the effect of, was 2046 the effect of that timeline? Was that of the effect of Flashpoint? Who knows? We don't know yet. So anyway, he actually goes ahead, and we actually get to see Jay Garrick. He actually grabs Barry because he wants to fix everything up again. He wants to actually go ahead and redo it again. But this time very accurate. But this time Jay Garrick actually goes ahead and he takes him out of the Speed Force, or out of the time loop, or the time space continuum, and drags him out. And he was surprised on that Jay Garrick took him out of it. Anyway, Jay Garrick was telling him that there was, so think of a cup as the space-time continuum, and he uses his powers to rupture one little piece of it. And Barry knows this, but he knows that you cannot go back to it, or you will splinter it. You will go ahead and you will make another timeline. So he goes ahead and he goes back to but before the Jay Garrick stuff, he actually Edward Clares gets his powers back, and of course they fight. He reveals him, and he says that Clares says that he was missing something, and that was his powers. And so back to on track. So he actually goes ahead and he goes back to the new timeline, and he tells everybody that he made a big mistake. And so he actually drew a line of the original timeline, then of right now, and then of where his mother died. So he drew another timeline, which was the Flashpoint Paradox timeline, and because that splintered into that part. So then he wins ahead. Then they go back again, and then that's the timeline that they are in, and so he can't do it anymore. And we also get to find out that the reason why everybody's so splintered and all, but there was a main reason why. So Cisco was really upset because of what had happened to his brother. His brother had died in a car accident. A truck hit his brother's car, and he wanted to go ahead and he wanted the Flash to fix that, but he says he can't. So then we also get to see that that he actually makes gloves for his powers, but Cisco says, but you obviously don't know about that. So then he goes to this new guy, which is I forget his name, but he doesn't like this new dude because obviously for obvious reasons, he doesn't know him, so that's why he doesn't like him right now. But this dude has known him for a year, and anyway, personally, I don't like him. I really don't like him. I think there's a good reason. I think he might be Dr. Alchemy, but we just don't know that yet. It's just a theory for now. Anyway, I think they kind of like Barry asked him if he could look at the file case, and he says, yeah, sure, here you go. Like buddy kind of stuff. Anyway, that happens, and then he gives it back because he was thinking of another case, and then there you go. So then they find and grabs another. So now Flash gets to meet Dr. Alchemy, or slash Dr. Alchemy, and the rival. He fights the rival, gets his ass kicked a little bit, but finally fights him and defeats him once again. But the main objective of Dr. Alchemy was because Dr. Alchemy wants to give back all the powers that was in Flashpoint. They want to get. He wants to have all the characters. He wants to give all the people who are in the Flashpoint timeline, give them all back their powers. So that means that we will see Kid Flash come back again. Anyway, it was a good episode. By the end of the episode, we see Edward Claris talking to Alchemy, like he's saying, Dr. Alchemy is saying, you had failed me, and then some kind of like hand attacks Edward Claris. But anyway, this was a good episode. Can't wait for the next episode next week. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, comment, and share. And remember, I will be doing tomorrow Arrow, and then Legends, and then on Monday Supergirl episode 2, Arrow, Flash next week, Arrow, and then Legends again. Catch you guys on the flip side.